All right, happy Friday. Welcome to Frontline, 6 o'clock here on the East Coast, and we have officially hit 1 month of the government being shut down. Tomorrow's going to be interesting, but we begin tonight with news out of federal courts in Boston and Rhode Island, where judges are ordering the Trump administration to continue funding SNAP. From what? This is contradicting what Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins said earlier, that SNAP's contingency fund can only be used when SNAP is funded. Also, speaking of legislation from the bench, a D.C. federal judge today ruling that proof of citizenship cannot be enforced on voter registration forms. This judge is the one who pushed against Trump's pardons for the January 6 people. I'm sure she's unbiased. And Kamala's word salad tour rolls on, and she wants 16-year-olds to vote. Okay, lady, you still would have been smoked by Trump. More on this with Larry Elder in just a minute. But first, terror attack in Dearborn, Michigan, thwarted by the FBI. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Let's do this. Well, cue the outrage from the liberal left on this TED Talk. But here we go. The FBI this morning thwarting a terror attack in Michigan with apparent ties to ISIS, intended to take place this weekend during Halloween celebrations. Probably because when everybody's dressed up in costumes, it's easy to walk around in large gatherings dressed up and have weird items that nobody would have questioned this weekend. Here's the kicker. Where did this raid take place? Dearborn, Michigan, a place where people, including my next guest, have been warning us about the increase in radicalization in the predominantly Islamic community. So the following facts are presented for your opinion without comment. The city that is 55% Muslim, that blasts the call for prayer multiple times a day over loudspeakers, that recently had their elected mayor tell a Christian resident he's pretty much not welcome there.
You are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
Well, we recently saw mass demonstrations chanting "Death to America," yes, in Dearborn, Michigan, where they would have made their police logo an Arabic writing sign if it wasn't national outrage after the proposed patches were leaked. There was a terror attack thwarted out of there. Weird. Guys, when are we going to get serious about this stuff? 9/11 wasn't enough. This is something, this community showing a pattern of, let's say, the tendency to not self-police. Not an isolated problem, though. Ilhan Omar, the Somali immigrant who the United States took in as a refugee, was elected by and presides over the #1 terror recruiting district in the country in Minnesota, who seemingly didn't have a problem with 9/11.
CARE was founded after 9/11. Because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
This is why Trump just capped the refugee ceiling at 7,500 this week, because that's what we're getting. By the way, she recently pledged allegiance to Somalia as a U.S. Congresswoman.
waddanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan.
So did the guy running for mayor of Minneapolis that she's actually supporting. Oh, by the way, you want to know why Omar fled Somalia and sought refugee status here in America? Fun fact, because her father was previously a ranking military officer in a military that was committing genocide. And then when the government collapsed, the people who had been oppressed by that government that he supported wanted him dead. Shocker, right? So we took her in, and to repay us, she says that she wants to turn us into Somalia. Thanks. But if I bring any of this up, I get people like Zorhan Mamdani telling me stuff like this.
No matter what anyone says, there are still certain forms of hate that are acceptable in this city. Islamophobia is not seen as inexcusable. In an era of ever-diminishing bipartisanship, it seems that Islamophobia has emerged as one of the few areas of agreement.
But I'm just presenting data. I mean, dude, give it a rest. Islamophobia is not even like the top 10 issues in New York where people can't afford food. But that's the problem here. We can't have an honest conversation with data and metrics without the utter meltdown of people on the left. The vast majority of America doesn't care who or what you worship, but we do care when it affects others, as this attack in Dearborn would have. Look, my intent here is not to demonize Muslims in America. My intent is to be aware of the reality. Nearly everywhere there is mass Muslim migration without assimilation, attacks like this are happening. Look back, Charlie Hebdo in Paris. I mean, I could do this all day, but there, radical Muslim terrorists shot up a satirical newspaper for making a joke about the Prophet Muhammad. See, in America, we have this freedom of speech, freedom of the press, so you tell me how we would reconcile those differences. Sweden, who took in huge swaths of Muslim migrants, had over 200 bombings linked to terror alone this year. They're on track to make 300. That's almost an attack a day. I mean, never mind what's happening in Gaza right now. After the ceasefire, radical Muslims there just started executing their own people. In Syria, Muslims are executing Christians en masse, yet that's not getting much media attention either. Africa, same thing. Trump released a statement on the mass murder today. Look at the UK. What weak liberals viewed as tolerant, the Muslim community viewed as conquering. Welcomed in with open arms by the good people of the UK, and now the #1 name there is Muhammad. Beyond that, look at the way their benefit system is being taken advantage of.
So I'm just on my way to the job centre, right? And I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who pays their taxes, because without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like, the fact that I can still go out about my day and still do my things and get paid for not doing absolutely anything because of others who are working and paying their taxes. I don't think I've ever said thank you, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, in England, while 10% of Englishmen pay 60% of the taxes, while 97% of the Muslims there are on benefits. Muslims pray in the street, which I generally wouldn't have a problem with, but I suddenly do when they're putting legislative pressure on to arrest Christians praying quietly to themselves in the same location. When you can be arrested for a meme that someone finds offensive, you can criticize nothing you can criticize, and you get time in jail for it. Look here, for posting something that gave someone the SADS. But someone who literally raped a 16-year-old girl in Europe didn't even get deported because of religious dispensation, because the rape didn't last long enough. Dearborn is headed for what's happening in London. And look at how they're pushing back now.
We, Polish conservatives, we do support you. We want our continent back. And we want to be a European family with you, with the British lands. Raise up your colors. Raise up your colors. Look, show it to the world how proud you are. It's time for brave men. It's time to stop wearing dresses. We have to put an armor.
I'll leave you with this. It's just something to think about. Everywhere Muslims are in the minority, they scream about minority rights. Everywhere they're in the majority, there are no minority rights. The countries bending the knee to Islam under the banner of tolerance are experiencing massively elevated rape, murder, and crime. And in Poland, where they took in no refugees, that didn't happen. Japan, same thing.
تو ژاپن رفتن فلان دستگاهی که بیش از 1000 میلیارد داره در سال بودجه داره میگیره وظیفه داشت که ژاپنی ها رو مسلمان کنه در طول 6 سال یه نفر مسلمان کرده بود بعد فهمیدیم اونم ژاپنی نیست یه کارگر میگم بوتانی کجاییه.
Millions spent by Iran in Japan converted one person who wasn't even Japanese. Strict immigration, monitoring anyone who doesn't assimilate. That's what they do in Japan. How many Islamic terror attacks are in Japan? Give or take, approximately 0. Ever. Look, if I saw them in Dearborn, Michigan, waving American flags, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, I wouldn't care what religion they practiced. But they're not. And there's a pattern here. They're waving Palestinian flags and chanting death to America. I played the video clip in this. Stack that on top of the fact that we don't actually know who the hell came here over the last 4 years. Our wide open borders, mass migration that nobody knows who came here is a real problem. So excuse me for being a little concerned about not only this incident, but the culture center that it's coming from. David Wood, who was arrested for doing a Christian interview at a Muslim event in 2010 in Dearborn, Michigan, and reached a settlement with the city in 2013 where Dearborn had to apologize to you and keep that apology on the Dearborn website for 3 years. Sir, how does it feel today to see this?
It's not surprising at all. It's not, I mean, they were forced to, because they'd been sued in court, they were forced to deal with it. They also had to pay us a few $100,000 over that. But Yeah, I mean, the way it makes me feel is, hey, I was telling you the guys this about 15 years ago. I was telling you this in 2009, 2010, 2011, what was going on in Dearborn, the kinds of things that police were doing, the kinds of things that other people in the community were doing. If they didn't like you talking to a Muslim on a public street, they would call the police. And we're sitting here thinking, what? No one's breaking a law. Why are you calling the police? And the police would make sure that you stopped whatever it was you were doing. And so, yeah, we made a bunch of videos back then. We were attacked at one festival. We got arrested at another festival, and
they settled.
We were told we were the problem, right? Well, why are you guys going around talking to them? Why are you guys showing up to their city and bothering them? And
wait, hold on. They said their city?
Yeah.
Wow. So, I want to get back to the terror attack that was just thwarted there, and what I said earlier, which was the lack of willingness sometimes to self-police their own in situations like this. Something you've been warning about for 15 years, but these are coming out of districts that are predominantly run by people who seek the similar ideology as far as, the religion of Islam, and yet we're not seeing internal policing.
Oh, yeah, and I can tell you how bad this is. People don't know this, but and we only heard this. I heard this from a woman, and two of my friends who also got arrested with me. They heard it from the guy who was doing our mug shots, because he did our mug shots separately and was talking to them separately. But they were talking to him, and they were saying, you don't see how messed up it is that we're being arrested for having a discussion on a public street? We were standing there having discussion. Guys were asking us questions about the Bible, and you show up and lock us up. You don't see a problem with that? And the guy who took the mugshots said, not to me, said to my two friends, but separately, he said, you don't have to tell me how many problems there are here. There are girls who get their heads chopped off and no one ever hears about it. It never makes it into the media. Oh, and by the way, if you ever bring this up, I will deny that I ever said it. But it's interesting because I separately heard the same thing from a woman who said that happened on her street. She said, all of a sudden there are cop cars around a girl's house. We never see the girl again. And no one ever tries to figure out what happened to the girl. So,
yeah. And obviously we can't verify this, but
that's true.
I mean, this is crazy. But the problem is I've talked about Dearborn before, and I get a slew of, my phone is blowing up right now with Twitter, of people saying that no, Dearborn is as peaceful as can be, but yet you differ. You beg to differ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with me, it's how they come up with alternatives to Sharia law that give the same result as Sharia law. And this basically happened 3 years in a row. So I went to outside a mosque in 2009. Now, I'm careful. We don't go on mosque property. We just go on the public streets around the mosque, so that as Muslims walk home, we would hand them copies of the Gospel of John in Arabic. Mm-hmm. So that's what we do. And we'd hand them a Jesus DVD. If they don't want to take it, they don't have to take it. We just offer it to them as they're walking home to their neighborhoods. Well, we're standing out there, and all of a sudden, police show up. They, as the mosque is letting out, they grab all of the Christians, they round us up, and he says, everyone, give me your ID cards. So he takes all of our ID cards, and he's sitting there talking to the imam at the mosque in Arabic. So sitting there talking in Arabic,
the police
and
officer.
writing down all our names, the police officer, writing down all our names and all our home addresses. And then he hands us our IDs back. He says, I have all of your information. You're free to go. But by that time, everyone had left. So we were there to try and hand Muslims copies of the Gospel of John in Arabic. He detains us. We're on public streets. We're on public sidewalks. He detains us, keeps us there while everyone leaves, and then has the intimidating statement that he's got all of our information and that we're free to go. But it's like, notice what just happened. He's a police officer, so he can take us into custody for some reason, take our information, but then he actually stops us from what we were there to do. Yeah. So we have police officers stopping Christians from handing things to Muslims.
Yeah, and if nothing says that you were in the right here, more than the fact that they were forced to pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars and leave up a 3-year apology on their website. David Wood, much appreciate you coming on. I'm sorry for what you went through, sir.
Good to see you.
All right. Coming up, the Democrats are begging Kamala Harris to shut up as she continues her book tour and unhinged rants on literally any podcast that'll take you. But look, I think you should keep talking more later in the show. But first, this is absolutely bananas. The Justice Department now investigating BLM leaders for possibly defrauding their millions and millions and millions of dollars in donors. Weird. We got the co-founder of BLM Rhode Island, Mark Fisher, standing by on that next.
Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country.
Before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead in a new book, Pagan Threat, authored by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said Pagan Threat could save America and that you must read it. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer. Plus, get Dick Morse's new book, The Real Charlie Kirk. 2 great books with our free offer today.
Think you need a new roof? Think again and save thousands.
We're America's most trusted roofer because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it.
We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. Call now or scan the code and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
This is a story about the one. The one who looks to Grainger to make sparks fly. Getting it done right is a craft. It takes experience, the right material, and the right partner like Grainger with a wide range of professional-grade products. For the one, working hard means others can play even harder. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Look what I just found. No ding decline on the Experian app. They show me credit cards that won't hurt my credit if I'm not approved. Turns out I care about my credit health too. Get the app from your big financial friend. Experian.
You know, waking up in the hospital from all that stuff, there's got to be some kind of purpose for me here. I need to get over myself and start helping others. Cueto and Towers came in and gave me and my family a home. I've regained quite a bit of independence from that amazing gift they've given me. I can't begin to thank Cueto and Towers for everything they've done for our family. It means so much to us, a life-changing gift. Thank you. Please donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
Fraud in Black Lives Matter movement? You don't say. The Justice Department is now investigating fraud allegations into BLM to see if its leaders defrauded donors who contributed close to $100 million to the organization in 2020. And they might be onto something given the fact that BLM activists have already been sent to prison for wire fraud and money laundering. You remember these guys? They took in over $90 million during the 2020 riots, not including the $42 million they have in assets. And what exactly did they do with that? What did they do for the black community with those assets? Well, I mean, they extorted companies for money. They literally Al Sharptoned people. They went around pushing their movement and saying, if you don't support us, we're going to protest outside your door. Oh, by the way, Donald Trump is bad. And then we're going to go to your city. We're going to boycott you. We're going to ruin your business. And if you don't post a black square on your Instagram, you're a racist. And if you don't kneel down for the national anthem like all these other leftists over there, you're racist. Hell, if they even had the NFL looking like they were going to change their entire logo to end racism. Forget the riots of people literally burning down cities. Once those were done, they went out painting on every sidewalk and street they could. They even put one out here on Fifth Avenue right in front of Trump Tower. You had the Democrats out on Capitol Hill in full African garb that they bought on Amazon or something. Face masks too, of course. Kneeling for George Floyd, having a moment of silence. So again, what exactly did the $90 million go to? Did all this hoopla make one black life better other than those running the organizations? You had Patrisse Cullors talking about one of our biggest goals this year is taking the dollars we were able to raise in 2020 and building out the institution we've been trying to build for the last 7.5 years. What institution? The $6 million Los Angeles mansion that you guys bought? The organization has been full of corruption since the beginning. They use black people's outrage to incite violence and intimidate major corporations into supporting them. Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, George Floyd, all leading to nationwide riots for BLM. And what did BLM ever give back to the actual black community? I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Cullors can't tell a federal court asking these questions that they're racist, like she did about the media with her 990s. Mark Fisher, Black Lives Matter, Rhode Island co-founder, obviously Trump supporter. All right, look, Mark, this would be great. This thing had potential if it had actually helped black people. What say you?
Yeah, that was the intention. but, you know, somewhere along the way, things got, you know, perverted, you know, we got infiltrated. And then, you know, the movement just, you know, it kind of splintered into, you know, all kind of different directions.
Right. But the problem is like, you know, corporations dumped, you know, huge swaths of not only money, but also organizational power into these things. Was there anybody anywhere in the, obviously you were the BLM Rhode Island chapter, but was there anybody in the echelon that was like, hey guys, we might be doing something not only wrong or fiscally irresponsible, but illegal?
Yeah, and so when I began my chapter, you know, they were asking me, you know, how do you feel about, you know, the founders not giving you guys money? Because they, to this day, have affiliate chapters that are still angry and looking for accountability and redress, you know, for the over $90 million that was misappropriated and siphoned off into luxury properties, mansions, and over-the-top parties. And at the time, I had nothing to say because I wasn't going to throw anybody under the bus. We had our own problems, you know, locally. And so, but, you know, it's become such a, you know, big thing that the DOJ, I think it's time for him to be investigated. And I think that, you know, we need to be, you know, unafraid of whatever comes and whatever may or may not be.
Right. That's the problem, too. You know, the bigger problem, too, is how affiliated were some of these groups with the riots? I mean, you had, you know, $2 billion nationwide of damages to these things. Black Lives Matter was, you know, was affiliated in huge swaths of these as far as like, you know, the signs that came out before the riots happened and things like that. You had Kamala Harris bailing people out. Are you worried that some of these things are going to, you know, come out for, you know, affiliations to maybe your organization or Black Lives Matter National, that where they actually helped these riots?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's a divide and conquer, you know, strategy. And, you know, but my job is to make my community aware of the fact that the agenda that best suits my people is the America First agenda. We are not, and a lot of times I had to let, you know, local networks know we in no way whatsoever condone violence. We don't support it. We don't suggest it. As a matter of fact, we discouraged it. Our protests were always peaceful. They were always in line with the First Amendment. And, you know, we are about America first. And that's my goal. My goal is to make sure that people understand the heart of the matter. Like President Trump said, it's not about, you know, the funders and the agitators and the anarchists, you know, it's about them, and it's not about the protesters who are in their basement making a sign.
The other thing, Mark, is me as sitting here in New York as a white guy. That entire movement, and it sucks for people like you who are responsible about it, but that entire movement made me be like, well, it puts a bad taste in my mouth for the next cause that they might use racism or something like that to raise money for.
Yeah, you know, so we just got to be very careful. And that's why I think President Trump is the greatest president of all time, because he doesn't see color. And you know, I aspire, you know, to be like that and see things from his lens. And, you know, and I hope all Americans do, because I think that he's done more to bring Americans together, you know, as much as Martin Luther King or any other American in history.
Yeah. Well, Mark Fisher, appreciate being on the right side of this one, brother.
I appreciate you, Pam.
Thank you. All right, coming up, even the establishment media isn't safe from claims of racism, why CBS is the new target. All that and more in our Culture Clash. Hey, I'm Carl Higbie from Newsmax. Look, I'm unapologetically pro-American, and honestly, this is the one place that lets me call it how it is. I'm not holding back. I'll give it to you straight every single night.
I'm Caden Ballas. I'm a race car driver from Concord, North Carolina, and I like to go fast. Consistency is everything. Every morning when I wake up, I take balance of nature fruits and veggies.
Get 35% off your first set as a preferred customer. Claim this offer by using discount code Newsmax.
Hi, my name is Damian Clark. And if you have both Medicare and Medicaid, I have some really encouraging news that you'll definitely want to hear. Depending on the plans available in your area, you may be eligible to get extra benefits with the Humana Medicare Advantage Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan. These plans have a $0 monthly plan premium. Most plans include the Humana Healthy Options Allowance. Get over $1,000 a year. That's $85 a month to help pay for covered over-the-counter items, like vitamins, pain relievers, first aid supplies, and more. The Healthy Options Allowance is loaded onto a prepaid card each month, and whatever you don't spend carries over from each month. Call today to learn about all the items covered. You could have $0 copays on hundreds of prescriptions all year long, including select brand name drugs. All plans have $0 copays for covered preventive dental services, which include 2 free cleanings a year, as well as coverage towards fillings. They also have vision coverage, including vision exams and a yearly allowance towards eyewear, such as lenses or contacts. And hearing coverage, which includes routine hearing exams and coverage towards hearing aids. Plus, your doctor, hospital, and pharmacy may already be part of our large Humana networks. So call the number on your screen now to speak with a licensed Humana sales agent. Wouldn't you love benefits like a monthly allowance? To help pay for covered over-the-counter items. So if you have Medicare and Medicaid, call the number on your screen now and speak with a licensed Humana sales agent. If you're eligible, they can even help enroll you over the phone in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan. And remember, annual enrollment ends on December 7th. So call now. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Thanks to Jointivia, I'm back in the swing of things. Wait, $70 for a refill?
You gotta try Single Care. Just look up your prescription, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and save.
See why more people are saving with Single Care.
From our orchards in Oregon to your holiday table, Harry and David delivers a legacy of gourmet excellence. Our prepared meals, fine wines, charcuterie, all crafted to elevate any celebration. Make it a hand-picked holiday with Harry and David.
At Balsam Hill, we're crafting joy early this year. For a limited time, save 20% off site-wide, including our beautifully designed lifelike Christmas trees, now made with more sustainable materials. Find your holiday spirit early this year at balsamhill.com.
Well, we all pretty much know that leftist violence in America is out of control, so much so that the White House officials are now being forced to live on military bases due to safety fears. And the same left that caused the problem is now complaining about it. They're moving officials like Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, and others into military housing because it's actually cheaper and easier than providing the same officials like round-the-clock Secret Service that they would need at a private residence. But the left's threats don't appear like they're going to subside anytime soon now that a Coast Guard lieutenant, an Antifa, self-admitted Antifa member, was found not guilty for soliciting the assassination of President Trump. Back in 2020, Peter Stinson took to the all-inclusive Blue Sky, writing, "Someone ought to do something more than sue orange MFers SS." And it involves a high-powered rifle scope, but I can't talk about it here. He added, "I'd be willing to pitch in $100 for that contract. Who wants to join me?" Well, Luke Ball, political strategist and CEO of Compass Strategies, and Ashley Brasfield, a reporter with the Daily Caller. I mean, Ashley, so apparently, according to this jury in Virginia, it's not against the law to solicit murder for someone?
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. But here's the thing. We even have political candidates that had these same, thoughts on places like Reddit with Graham Plattner, who's running for Senate in Maine. We have Jay Jones, the Attorney General candidate, going into this election in this coming week. And then even people, in New Jersey that, are just plain socialists. So it is widespread. And I can't believe they're complaining about this when they're the cause of the problem here again. There's multiple doxing incidents when it comes to people like Stephen Miller. They've been very public about that, him and his wife. So it really is just endless. And it's, Jeanine Pirro even complained about this in D.C. How do you actually prevent, crime from happening when you have judges in place and, people that don't agree?
Yeah. I mean, I generally retweet those people, be like, hey, meet you for coffee down the street. Nobody ever shows up. But Luke, left-winger Ed Krasenstein, this guy is like a goldmine of buffoonery. He took to Twitter to say this: imagine wanting to jail an 82-year-old former president who's battling stage 4 cancer, even though there's absolutely no evidence of any crimes, and then bragging about enjoying watching him squirm. And I'm just thinking to myself, Ed, this is what Biden did to Trump for the last 4 years. What?
They kicked down the door at Mar-a-Lago to try to find some documents when they treated all of the other presidential candidates in a different way, saying, hey, check between the couch cushions to make sure you don't have any classified documents left and return them to NARA if you find anything. And yet they used the standard of prosecuting Donald Trump and said that's what we want to do in order to silence him. And yet whenever the joke is made on Truth Social that maybe Trump is going to do it to Joe Biden, they lose their ever-loving minds.
No, it's unbelievable. All right, so Ashley, this week, CBS laid off 1,000 or so employees in the company's first round of cuts, one of them being this associate producer. For people who don't know, that's like the second level up. So it's a fairly junior producer, Trey Sherman. Now, he's a black guy who immediately accused the company of racism. I mean, look, Sherman worked for CBS News, like the evening news network, CBS Race and Culture Unit. I don't even know what that is. There's no product there. So you can hire someone for their race, but if you fire them because they haven't produced anything, Ashley, then that's racism. How's that work?
Yeah, well, Barry Weiss has come in really strong and made a lot of cuts recently, and it looks like Doge cuts, honestly, with this DEI thing. You know, I think maybe, too, even if it's not about race, maybe you just weren't good at your job. Maybe it's merit-based. You know, it's just this broad assumption, and he talks about, you know, going to each of his other white colleagues and asking them, like, are you fired? Are you not fired? And, you know, they all say they still have a job and he's not. But really, maybe it does come down to, like, seniority or just meritocracy in this case.
Right, but this comes down, this is a much bigger issue, Luke, I think. And look, you run a company, so you understand this. These people go out, like this guy goes out, and now he's complained in the media about he was fired for his race with no merit or evidence to produce that. This guy, like, if I was owning a company, I'd be like, I'm never going to hire this guy because this is what he did to his last employer.
Well, too often in the media, it's like when you go to the doctor and he uses that hammer on your kneecap, it's a reflex. And every time they are, you know, hurt in some way or they have to face the realities of a company not doing well, they hyperreact to that position. And perhaps it's because originally he was hired on the basis of DEI, and therefore because he was let go because the company was not doing well, he just instinctively says it's also because of DEI, but that's not the case. So the bottom line, if a company's not doing well, you're going to go.
Yeah, exactly. Ashley, too, Pete Buttigieg, this is one of my favorite ones to hate. Hey, he's never been successful at anything. Now watch him unsuccessfully challenge a legal immigrant about law enforcement under Donald Trump. Roll it.
Do you feel safer about the fact that a Latino doctor crossing the street in Washington, D.C. is getting hassled or harassed because they're brown?
I don't think that I've heard that. Now,
okay, so you're not aware of any case in which a U.S. citizen who is
no,
like you're
me no, but I will tell you, for example, after 9/11,
wait, you're on a podcast commenting about immigration. Surely you have some level of awareness.
Let me tell you, after 9/11, for example, for years I had SSS on my boarding passes. I know what it feels like to be harassed, and what I'm telling you categorically is I feel safer in this presidency than I have ever felt.
I'm loving watch the white gay guy lecture the actual immigrant about like, whoa, hold on, you have to feel this way. And he's like, no, dude, like, I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think Chamath specifically, he's one of the most successful venture capitalists in the country. I think he knows a little bit about something. And, you know, when he keeps bringing up D.C., you know, I live in D.C. You don't have National Guard police officers really coming up to harass anyone. They're just kind of minding their own business. And I understand you're talking about immigrants and minorities here, but I don't see that. I think the harassment really comes from the homeless individuals and, you know, the crime that people committing the crime in these scenarios. Yeah. And I think he's exactly right. He's seen it himself. And you know, I think Pete Buttigieg lecturing an immigrant about this is hysterical, honestly.
He's the worst. Luke, real quick, 10 seconds here. I don't watch hockey, never have, but I'm going to watch the women's hockey this year because American women's hockey has challenged Canadians women's hockey to a fight, not even a game.
I'm all about it, and I hope they have more of that and less hockey, quite frankly. I think the ratings might go up, and I would say bring it to the WNBA. Allow them to fist fight as well.
Yeah, that would be so fun. Luke, Ashley, have a great weekend.
You too, man.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be watching that game. Coming up, in a recent interview, Kamala Harris was asked what her mood is like these days after losing to Trump in the 2024 election by a landslide, mind you. Her answer, actually, you won't be surprised at all. It's really stupid. Those details next.
I'm John Glasgow, and whether the story is right here in New York City in a courthouse or at the border wall in Arizona, we're going to be boots on the ground to bring you all the facts to make sure that you get the story straight, because that's what's important to us right here at Newsmax.
Do you have a yo-yo smile? sometimes yellow, sometimes white. It's a constant battle between everyday stains and whitening treatments. Until now, get Smile Actives, the daily teeth whitening breakthrough that gives you a more youthful smile and helps you keep it.
At 43 years old, I don't mess around with products that waste my time. Smile Actives is easy, and it works. No gloopy trays, no messy strips. Just add a little bit on top of your toothpaste when you brush your teeth. And ta-da, white teeth.
Just add Smile Actives to your favorite toothpaste and watch the magic happen. Our patented Polyclean microfoam lifts away deep stains for a dramatically younger and whiter smile.
You have a choice. You can have those yellow teeth and just be old Nana or Pop-Pop, or you can be smiling and dazzling and full of confidence. I love my white teeth.
Scan, click, or call for your whitest smile yet. And if you order right now, we'll double your whitening free. Get an extra Smile Actives as our free gift to you, but only while supplies last.
I drink coffee every day. I started noticing that my teeth were not as bright as I'd like them to be, a little dingy, but Smile Active, it works. Got your boy gleaming.
100% of users saw whiter teeth. Smile Actives lifts away even the toughest stains from coffee, wine, and food, gently restoring your bright, youthful smile. Plus, it's safe for veneers, crowns, and dentures.
It's really a no-brainer if you want to whiten your teeth.
Clinically shown to brighten your teeth 5 shades whiter in just 7 days.
If you could use something so easy like Smile Actives to take yellow teeth to white teeth, why wouldn't you?
Act now. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll double your order free. But hurry, this deal won't last. Smile Actives is guaranteed to work. Whiten your teeth or get your money back. No questions asked. Don't wait. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll send you a second bottle absolutely free. That's free shipping, a free extra bottle. That's an incredible 58% savings. Scan the code, go to smileactives.com or call to get your beautiful whiter smile now.
If a parent or loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, we are here to help. With our MesoCare promise and decades of experience exclusively helping mesothelioma victims and their families, our firm will fight for the care and compensation you and your family deserve. We'll come to you and put a plan in place. Please call now.
Call now and we'll come to you for a free consultation. Call now at 800-664-2000 or go to mesobook.com.
A peace plan for Gaza. For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm. Instead,
tonight, terrifying images emerging from Gaza. Videos show Hamas-linked gunmen carrying out a public execution as they return to the streets.
Hamas on a rampage, executing Palestinians. Bloody crackdown, spreading terror. For freedom, not terror. Hamas must go.
Don't go! I got to. It's time to screen for colon cancer. Also, I'm just going to the porch.
Cologuard is for people 45 plus, at average risk, not high risk.
False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider or request Cologuard online.
Right. Like, am I just like it?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't ask the question with pretense.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Are you just like, no, it doesn't matter? Because the book had energy.
Yeah, I think there is that energy in the book.
Kamala, one of the great orators of our time, joining the Diary of a CEO. She's been the CEO of nothing, like No Company Ever podcast, to discuss her book. She claims that she was disappointed with Joe Biden, that he has F-it energy these days. Maybe that's why she wants 16-year-olds voting. Could you imagine if she was running our country right now? Nationally syndicated talk radio host Larry Elder. Larry, thank God we don't have to.
You know, Trump has taken out 2 women. He took out Hillary. He took out Kamala, and the country is better for that. Call me sexist.
Yeah, no, he actually has single-handedly stopped the first female president twice. All right, here's this is crazy. Like, Democrats are just melting down over the fact that Trump is in charge. But Democrat congressman from Connecticut, my congressman in Connecticut, Jim Himes, says that Trump is, he better stop destroying drug trafficking boats or else. I just watched this.
If Lindsey Graham and other Republicans want to go the route of saying it's okay to kill people illegally, just so long as the American public supports it, The American public needs to really think that through. You know, there will be a Democratic president someday, and all my MAGA friends who are, you know, cheering on these illegal killings need to imagine who gets killed when President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that it doesn't matter what the law says. She's going to do what she's going to do.
Where was he when Obama was drone striking all those people, including 4 American citizens?
Well, that's right. And the idea of Ocasio-Cortez being president, maybe that's reason enough, Carl, for Donald Trump to come back and take out a 3rd woman who would be the first female president. Look, these people are melting down. They're melting down because the president is, to use his own word, winning. GDP running at around 4%. Inflation a little under 3%. Still too high, but certainly a lot lower than it was when Joe Biden was president. Gas prices approaching a 4-year low. Borders are secure. A ceasefire deal so far, or at least the hostages have been released in Gaza. And the president's poll numbers are better than they were his first term, and about the same as they were for Obama in his second term. And even the stat guy over at CNN said that even during the shutdown, Trump's numbers have improved and Republicans are becoming increasingly less blamed for this. So what to do? What to do? Let's talk about the ballroom. Let's talk about other stuff because they can't talk about the things people care about, which are the economy, and oh, by the way, the economy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, another one who wants power so bad she can taste it, Jasmine Crockett. She actually got fact-checked on CNN after repeating the false claim that Trump's main focus was that ballroom you just mentioned. Roll this.
We heard the press secretary say that his main priority is the ballroom that no one asked for, the ballroom that requires him to destroy historic pieces of the White House. And so it doesn't seem like he's interested.
And that context of the comment from Caroline Leavitt, she was asked if the president was working on any other renovations when it came to the White House, and she was saying his focus was the ballroom.
I mean, if you're getting fact-checked by Caitlin Collins, whoa.
You know, and Carl, we can stop all of the controversy over the ballroom if President Trump simply names it the George Floyd Memorial Ballroom and puts a tampon dispenser in the men's room. Problem solved. No more controversy. No more protests. It's done.
Oh yeah, that's all it takes. Tampons in the men's bathroom. And Jasmine Crockett too. She's actually teaming up with Jane Fonda on gerrymandering. Listen to this buffoonery.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and I'm here with Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman from Texas, and she knows what redistricting, what gerrymandering means. She is so powerful in Congress that the GOP want to get rid of her district in Texas. They've redistricted her house out of her district. We have to vote yes on Prop 50, don't we, Jasmine?
Absolutely.
I wonder how all the Vietnam veterans living in her districts will feel about that one, Shane.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she's made Jane Fonda relevant again, at least for another few minutes. What about all the 5 people out here in California where I am, Carl, who are going to lose their jobs? You know, Representative Issa will lose his job, very likely. Doug LaMalfa will lose his job. Valadeo may lose his job. Kim Calvert may lose his job. These are people that have been in Congress for a long time. They're on our side. They have our kind of issues. And how in California, we've got 52 seats. 43 of them are already held by Republicans, even though 40% of Californians voted for Donald Trump. 43% are held by Democrats, rather, right. Even though 40% of Californians voted for Donald Trump. This will make it 48 out of the 52 seats.
Larry, you're preaching the choir. I live in the Socialist Republic of Connecticut. We have Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. No congressmen are Republican, yet 40+% of the voters there. Anyway, Larry Elder, pleasure as always, my friend.
My pleasure, Carl. Anytime.
All right. Coming up, DHS is cracking down on illegals behind the wheel and taking them off those roads. We got those details coming up.
Hi, folks. I'd like to tell you about YRefi. Did you know that as an accredited investor, when you invest in YRefi, your interest rate is fixed? And did you know that you can invest from 1 to 5 years and you can spread your investment over those terms to best suit your needs? And you have the freedom to take your monthly interest income or reinvest it, whatever you choose. When you invest in YRefi, your interest is calculated daily, you're paid monthly, and should you need your money back early, there is a liquidity feature. Would you like more information? All you have to do is call 877-80-INVEST. That's 877-80-INVEST, or log on to investwhyrefi.com. That's investwhyrefi.com for complete details. And make sure you review the private placement memorandum and scan this QR code to view the disclosure at your leisure. YRefi, investing in America's future.
This is the story of the one who knows well-prepared workdays take off smoothly and land right on time. That's why he counts on Grainger. With next-day delivery and professional-grade products, Grainger helps ensure he, his crew, and thousands of passengers fly through the day like clockwork. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Think you need a new roof? Think again and save thousands.
We're America's most trusted roofer because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it.
We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. Call now or scan the code and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
This holiday, set the table with the best. From orchard-picked pears to curated gourmet gifts, Harry & David brings a legacy of flavor to every celebration. Make it a hand-picked holiday with Harry & David.
We're talking to people today about investments. Let's see if we can get somebody. Excuse me, sir. Do you have a retirement account?
I do. I'm invested in some annuities.
Fixed income? How is that?
It was better a few years ago. Each year, it buys less and less, barely keeping up.
That's where gold can make a difference. Unlike fixed payouts, gold rises with inflation, so you're not stuck with a low fixed payment.
So gold isn't stuck in the past like my annuity?
Don't let inflation erode your retirement savings. Invest in gold. Invest with Noble Gold Investments.
Listen, I'm shopping for insurance.
Whoa. The unexpected can happen to any of us. That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect your family for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month.
We could help you save more than 50% on life insurance.
If you are here driving on our streets illegally and our highways, you are endangering our citizens, and your days are numbered.
President Trump's immigration crackdown is now hitting America's highways. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons confirming they arrested over 140 illegal truck drivers, many with significant criminal histories. Roll this.
Of the 223 illegal aliens ICE arrested with the Indiana State Police on these roadways, over 140 of those were truck drivers, including 50 semi-trucks. Many of these illegal aliens had significant criminal histories: drug dealing, assault and battery, drunk driving, child abuse, rape, domestic violence, fraud, and prostitution.
This comes after what DHS leaders are calling a disturbing pattern of deadly truck crashes involving illegals, because in California, prosecutors charged an illegal truck driver from India with driving under the influence and 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter after that video right there smashing and killing 3 people. In Florida, back in August, remember this suspect, also from India, attempting to make an illegal U-turn, causing a crash that also killed 3 people. I mean, who's against this? Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing 7,248 truck drivers have been removed from U.S. highways after failing to pass an English test. It's just unbelievable that anybody even remotely opposed this. Former DHS senior advisor and author of the great book Terrorist on the Border and in Our Country, Charles Marino, and border security advisor, Federation for American Immigration Reform, Art Del Cueto. Okay, Art, this to me seems like a no-brainer, but yet the libs are freaking out.
It is a no-brainer. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. You have individuals. First off, they're criminals. Obviously, you read the long list of crimes that they have committed, those individuals that have been detained and arrested. Okay, that's one thing. Second of all, they're working in the United States in a job that requires you to know the language, because you have to read the signs. You have to know where you're going. You have to know, what's going on. Then, if you do get pulled over by a state trooper, you're going to have to learn to communicate with the state trooper in English. It's crazy to me that the more we move forward, the more we have those people on the left that continue to put obstacles and think that this behavior is okay. For 4 years, they opened up the gates for every criminal to enter the United States. And now it seems like their focus is to defend the criminals and have them remain in the U.S.
Right, Charles.
It's insane to me.
The same. I mean, like, look, this you can just count these almost day by day. They're giving licenses to these people with no name given. It's like
crazy.
I'm going to the DMV tomorrow to register a CDL truck, and it's like I needed 40 documents, some notarized.
Yeah. And look, Carl, the math doesn't lie. You got the Biden administration lets in 20 million plus unvetted illegals into the country. They become a greater portion of the population here in the country, and they impact every segment of our lives. Look at how they're impacting public safety, how they're impacting hospitals, education. Oh, and also our roadways. The Department of Transportation and DHS have got to be in lockstep on this. DOT's got to go after these trucking companies to ensure they're following compliance, and DHS needs to hit them on every other angle. And oh, by the way, remember when we were all told about real ID and we all had to go back to the DMV and stand in lines? No name given. I guarantee that these people are being allowed to fly with these IDs that don't meet the real ID requirements. So what are we doing here? DHS has got to drop the hammer on them, and so does DOT. Enough is enough.
Also, if you have a no name given driver's license, we'll just arrest you on the spot because, you know, we don't know who the hell you are. Real quick, Trump is combining ICE and Border Patrol, Art. Reports saying that Border Patrol, or there's like some infighting and stuff like this about who would be better off to carry this. Look, Noam's got the right idea here. Her, Corey Lewandowski are doing work on this stuff. Maybe just let them roll.
Look, I mean, look, I've been hearing the rumors, too, back and forth, and people are talking about it. At the end of the day, everyone's on the same team, and everyone wants the same outcome. They want to defend our borders. They want to arrest individuals that have been here illegally. Sure. I've spoken to many of them. I've worked with a lot of them. Look, I think there's much to do about nothing at this point. I've had the honor to work and wear the uniform of the Border Patrol. We have been trained very well, but I've also worked hand in hand with ICE agents, and I can tell you they have a fantastic training as well. We need to get on the same page, which I think we are. Holman is a fantastic individual who I've had to work with as well. Look, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I got to leave it right there. Charles, Art, we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Carl.
right. Folks, we have some breaking news. President Trump is asking White House lawyers right now how the administration, if there's any way to legally fund SNAP to comply with the judge's order, saying that it would be his honor to provide funding, but also tell him to call crying Chuck Schumer. And he gave their number, 202-224-6542. This guy just never fails to disappoint. Anyway. All right, last week we reported that the new book, Pagan Threat, with a foreword by Charlie Kirk, had hit the New York Times bestseller list. Well, the New York Times reported again for the second week in a row that Pagan Threat by Lucas Miles will once again be on the top 10 New York Times bestseller list for week November 7th. So make sure you get a copy of Pagan Threat and read what Charlie had to say in the foreword. It's available on Amazon and bookstores everywhere, but also check out the free offer. Before we go, the government shutdown is welcomed by lovers of the outdoors, but not everybody is thrilled. Next.
The press won't report the real story.
The American people are actually very smart.
Ridiculous statements.
These guys are just plain weird.
Actual scandals.
Even the immunity decision. I mean, that decision was so misreported.
That's my job, and I aim to do it every night.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Ready to lose weight? Think Wegovy.
With Wegovy, I've lost 35 pounds.
I lost 46.
For the first time, I'm keeping the weight off.
I got this. I'm protecting my heart.
Wegovy is proven to lower the risk of major cardiovascular events.
Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines for it. Call your prescriber if you experience vision changes, heart racing at rest, or any mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Side effects of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
Why wait?
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy today.
a better heart health supplement. That's what we all want. That's why for 8 years now, I've relied on this heart powder. It's Super Beats, and I swear by it.
Super Beats is the original #1 selling beet brand for healthy blood pressure support. The only cardiologist-recommended beet brand that's also trusted by over 40 national championship-winning pro and college sports teams for cardio-powered energy.
For cardio results you can feel, the only brand I trust is Super Beats.
Find out how to get a free month with your first order at livehuman.com.
When Betty and George switched to consumer cellular, it saved them a lot. So they started splurging on date night. No, don't you dare. It's an acquired taste. See how we can cut your bill. Call Consumer Cellular.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at gettrumpwatches.com. These make a great gift. It's Trump time.
Hello, I'm Franklin Graham. We've all been watching the storm Melissa as it hit Jamaica. The destruction is just incredible. Samaritan's Purse is responding with planes taking supplies and people in and out of Jamaica. We've got helicopters. They'll be working up in the mountains and some of these remote areas where people are still cut off. So much destruction has taken place. So please pray for them. We want everyone there to know that God loves them and cares for them. So we need your prayers. God bless you. Thank you.
Let's be honest. There are zillions of things you'd rather do than look for insurance. Like assembling whatever that's supposed to be. Or teaching your kid to...
Slow down, honey.
Drive. Fortunately, the Zebra searches over 100 insurance companies for you to find savings no one else can. You'd rather do this than look for insurance? We can save you up to $900 a year when you bundle auto and home. I think I'll wait inside. The Zebra. We do the searching, you do the saving.
Before I get to this, I just want to apologize. I realized that they gave me a clicky pen today, and I've been clicking it all night because I have the worst ADD in the world. But anyway, here we go. America's national parks, they've remained open during this month, despite the shutdown, because he's not like Obama, where he put gates in front of him. And despite people still visiting them for free, there's some wet blankets out there who are going to complain that, people are doing what they want to do, like base jumping or flying drones, activity that's usually barred. Take this guy, for instance. He's a rock climber who's taken to social media to tattletale on the wrongdoers at Yosemite National Park. It's just unbelievable. This guy writing, look at this, so funny. Base jumpers coming off El Capitan in the middle of the day must be taking advantage of the government shutdown to get away with it. Definitely feeling some freedom to flout the rules due to the shutdown. This guy must be like the president of a homeowners association or something. I don't know. And then there's this guy who's been photographing climbers for decades.
There's nobody manning the gates, so people come in all the time now since it's free. The employees that they need to run this, they've all been sent away.
People enjoying America's public lands for free of charge, and doing so without the heavy hand of government regulation. Again, the clear difference between us and them. I mean, God forbid people having the freedom to do what they want that's not bothering anybody. Folks, look, you want to go base jump off El Capitan? Go right ahead. I've done one base jump in my life. I have like 3,300 skydives. I will never base jump again, but you want to jump off a giant rock with crosswinds and hope your parachute opens in time before you hit the ground? Fine by me. I think it's a great thing. Anyway, folks, Schmidt's right after me. Don't worry, we're just not handing off tonight. See you on Monday.